As we look to return to completing the square and continue reviewing ideas about that, we need to remember that to start the problem, we need to have the number, the constant, on the other side of the equation. So in this case, we're going to take that 10 and we're going to move it over to the other side to allow us to add that plus blank and plus blank to both sides. Remembering an idea that we've talked about in the past, if a number changes sides, it changes signs. So the positive 10 becomes a negative 10 on the other side. We now look at what has to go into the blank to make this problem a perfect square trinomial. Half of 14 is 7, and 7 squared is 49. So we add a 49 to both sides. We now write the left-hand side as a perfect square trinomial, turning into a binomial squared, which leaves us with x minus 7. On the right side, that gives us 39. Our normal procedure says we now take the square root of both sides, remembering we're going to have a plus or minus when we do so. So the square root of x minus 7 squared and the square root of 39 come in our next step. As we continue, the square root of something squared is what's left inside. And the square root of 39, as we look at our calculator and figure that out, is very simply raised to the 1/2, and it's 6.24. So we have plus or minus 6.24. Now we're going to take our two answers and we're going to split them up and we're going to try to solve. X minus 7 equals positive 6.24 and x minus 7 equals negative 6.24. We add 7 to both sides of both equations to finish off the problem. This gives us x equals 13.24 on our left and x equals 0.76 on our right. As a solution set, our answer is 0.76 and 13.24. As we look at our last example of our day, completing the square, we're going to start the problem by moving the 40 over, remembering when it changes sides, it changes signs. So we have x squared minus 8x equals negative 40. We're now going to put plus blank and plus blank on both sides to complete the square. Half of 8 is 4, 4 squared is 16. So we add 16 to both sides. Writing the left side as a perfect square binomial, or turning into a binomial squared, we have x minus 4 on the left and a positive 24 on the right. We're now going to take the square root of both sides, remembering to put a plus or minus in front. The square root of something squared is what's left inside, that's x minus 4, and the square root of 24 is very simply 4.898. So that's 4.90 plus or minus at the front. That gives us x minus 4 equals 4.90 and x minus 4 equals negative 4.90. Adding 4 to both sides, the first answer is 8.90. Adding 4 to the other side, we simply have x equals 0.90, and it's a negative number. So I'm going to write my answer with a solution set, negative 0.90, comma, 8.90. That concludes our lesson on completing the square.